Hey guys, this is Aventis, and in today's video there hopefully will be less rambling and more talking about Inktober. And first of all, the official prompt list was published live, I think in the beginning of September. And even before that, I was thinking about Inktober and I just got so excited. So yeah, I just cannot not make a video about it now. Yeah, so I will try to give some advice, I guess, and then overall just talk about how I do it, so that maybe if you see how I do it, then maybe you will have some idea how you should do it if you haven't done it already, or why you should do it. So enough of the chit chat, let's get into it. First of all, if you decide to do Inktober, you might be thinking about why on earth you would do it. So what is your goal with this whole thing? Because let me tell you, if you decide to draw for like 30 days, then you might want to see something at the end. And the first thing that you will see at the end, whatever you do, if you keep drawing for 30 days, you will see some improvement. So maybe you just want to do it to get better. You might also do it because it's like really fun. It's also like a social event sort of thing that a lot of people will be doing it, and you just want to be part of this community. And overall, it's like a great feeling to be part of it. And also it's a great thing that when you publish this stuff, because I guess you should just upload it to some social media or art site or whatever if you are not doing it already, because once you do it, like, a lot of people will see it. And also this is a great goal to keep publishing this stuff. And I can certainly tell you that you will get more views, followers, whatever that our site has, especially like in the first few days. Like, at least so far what happened to me is that when I started doing like any of these challenges, like my first like 5 drawings were like really popular. After that it's like more of a luck based thing, or if you are drawing fan art, then that will be a bit more popular. But besides that, Inktober is a way to make people see what you're doing. And I don't know, if you want to have more views, then it's a perfectly fine goal as well. Now another thing, which is like not like an obligatory thing, and I don't think many people do it, but once you made 30 drawings, then you might think about like putting them in like one PDF or in one book if you are adventurous, and to have a product in the end. I think Jake Parker mentions it a lot, that you should make you should make products instead of projects. And the great thing about that is, like, at the end of Inktober you can say, wow, I made this thing. But also if you just do it in like one sketchbook or on like individual sheets of paper, then at the end you will see that will be a lot as well, and you might just feel accomplished at the end. And maybe it has more to do with fun, but you get what I'm saying, I guess. Now another thing, once you have the goal, what you want to achieve in the end, you might be thinking about how to start it. And what I want to be talking about is that whether you should prepare for Inktober or not. And I think both has if you decide to prepare or not, both have this I guess pros and cons for it. Like me, I'm more of like a preparee, like on the side to prepare. I cannot talk today. Anyway, but also, if you like, I don't know, don't start like whenever at the beginning of September, then you might not have all the 30 drawings for Inktober, and at some point you will have to improvise, and that is a great experience too. Like also, if you don't want to live on the edge, to just wake up every morning and just think about it, just think about something to draw, and if it makes you stressed, then that is also a viable option to just prepare some sketches before Inktober, and you will just have to ink them. Like, I don't know, you wake up and ink them, and maybe later on in the day you have another idea for another day, and the whole point of it is to keep yourself going. So whether you prepare for it or not, just do you know. Now, another thing is the question of medium. Like there was a debate about it, I think last year, that whether or not you should do Inktober digitally or traditionally. Now I don't want to stir the pot, I'm just saying whatever you want to do, so just do you know. But another thing is that if you decide to do Inktober traditionally, then there are also lots of different mediums which all use ink but are really different, and maybe you want to experiment with them. So I don't know, you can just grab an ink in a bottle and use like these dip pens, or you can use brushes, and also you can use washes, not just straight up black ink. But also there are like brush pens, ballpoint pens, and fine liners and whatever, and maybe you can stick to one, or you can experiment with them, and the point is to just try as many stuff as you want, or you have, and just experiment, have fun. Now, how to stay motivated throughout the challenge. During Inktober, I get this really excited mindset or drive or whatever, and because I just really enjoy doing this stuff, then you might not even realize that, oh, it's already the end of Inktober, but you still want to draw. So I don't know, that's what happened to me during 2 or 3 years, or how many ever times I did this. But if you are more on the chill side and just not as hyped as me, then maybe it helps to come up with ideas to just, I don't know, make a list of the drawings or topics you want to cover, if you don't want to follow the prompts. Oh, which is another thing, but later. Another motivating or inspiring thing is to watch other people tackle this challenge. I'm pretty sure that if you type Inktober to YouTube, or I don't know, DeviantArt, Tumblr, Twitter, wherever you are, then or even if you already follow artists, I'm pretty sure most of them will do this challenge, because I don't know, it's just a big thing. Or if not, then maybe you will find some new artists to watch during this challenge, and it can be really motivating as well. And another thing is, what I would advise to do is to grab a new sketchbook, or a sketchbook where you have at least 30 pages left, and just do it in the thing, and just see how it fills up day by day. And just looking back how many stuff or how many drawings you already did in that sketchbook can be really motivating. What I vaguely mentioned is whether or not you should do the prompts. You know, there's that official prompt list that I guess I also mentioned. And so should you do it? Well, my advice is that, as everything, that if it is fun for you, then you should do it. But if you feel like that it's restricting, then maybe do something else, or what you can do is that you don't necessarily have to do them in order. So, you know, just be creative and do whatever you want. I guess I will be saying this a lot if I haven't already. So, another thing I wanted to talk about is how I do it. And I don't know, maybe I will mention some things that are similar to how you do it, or maybe it's just, I don't know, inspiring, I hope. But how I've been doing these Inktober's for the past few years is I am more on the side to, you know, prepare some drawings. Obviously I'm not preparing like all 30, because then that would mean I'm already doing Sketchtember or whatever, because then I would have to produce like a lot of sketches. But you know, I don't know, sit down sometimes and I have an idea and I just draw it, and I just can't wait for Inktober to, you know, ink it already. So the great thing about it is that which I guess I already mentioned, is I don't like being, you know, like pushed or stressed. So if I can prepare in advance and not struggle all day if I can produce something nice or not, then that is a great feeling. So that is what I'm doing. Now the other thing is that I like having fun with this challenge, or like any 30-day challenge I ever attempted doing. And for me, the prompts aren't necessarily very much fun, because, you know, that is also like a restricting thing. If, you know, I just see a prompt, I don't know, I think wild is one of the prompts, and that is one prompt that I just saw and I was like, I have an idea for it. But there are a lot when I just don't, and you know, when you have to produce something every day, you just cannot sit down for hours to try to come up with something. So instead, I don't know, I have another idea from, for example, the Dragon Prince, which I hope I will be drawing because I really like that show. Or I don't know if you guys know Then he's like this dark elf guy, and I think he's really cool. And lately I have like 1 or 2 drawings of him, and it just really got popular, and that really motivates me to try and draw him again. If you have an idea for a prompt, for example, I don't know, for the 22nd prompt, I don't know which one that is, if you have an idea for it, then you shouldn't wait 22 days to do it. You should like either write it down or make a thumbnail or make a sketch for it, so that the next day you can ink that or whatever. So what I'm saying is that that don't try and make as many restrictions for yourself as you can, because this challenge is like hard enough, I guess. Or if it's really easy for you, then sure, go ahead, but like whatever. If it's hard for you to come up with something, then somehow preserve the ideas you have so that you can use them later, and it will be like a help for you. yeah, back to how I like doing this stuff, like the prompts. I do some prompts, but the other day I just have a totally different idea and I just do that. Yeah, and what I guess I struggle the most with during this challenge is the scanning of the drawings. So for me it's a bit of a struggle, but lately I just realized that if you just use your phone and take a picture and then edit it a bit in Photoshop or wherever, then it looks just as good. So as you heard, yeah, you heard it correctly, I touch up my drawings via Photoshop. And obviously, if you're doing Inktober traditionally, then you just shouldn't do half of the drawing digitally, or maybe if that is your thing, then just do it. But for me, I'm just a little bit a perfectionist, and if there are any spots on the drawing or stuff like that, then obviously I will correct them. So if it's not the drawing itself. But another thing is that if you like using like big areas of black ink, which is like solid ink, then you might not want to waste like half a bottle to cover that, and you can just paint it in Photoshop. Like, if that is cheating for you, then I don't know where you come from. But well, another thing is that I like wasting ink, because I have this bottle of ink which is practically useless for, it's only good for like covering big areas, but then it makes the paper pretty wrinkly. So I don't know, but whatever. I started rambling again. And the last thing that I wanted to touch upon is my dear sketchbook, which lasted me for more than for 2 Inktobers, and then additional drawings I did during the year. And last year I finished it, and I don't know, it was just a big thing for me, because it was like this, not the A4 sketchbook, but a bit bigger than that. I think it's like B4, but it's not A3, like whatever. And it's just really nice to just look back at it and just see what are the stuff I've done. And also that sketchbook is even older, because the first like 3 pages I did those in high school. I really hated the art teacher and the art class in general, and I just wanted to preserve the paper. And years later I picked it up again, and I was like, oh, this will be perfect for Inktober. And I was really happy that back in high school I just preserved that sketchbook, and now I finished it. And I think that thing is like one of my best sketchbooks like ever, even though it like started as like so big of a struggle, because as I said, I just hated the art classes in school, at least in high school. But I guess I covered what I wanted about Inktober, and I guess good luck with it. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, or I have a Tumblr ask box or whatever, and I am also on like every damn social media you can think of, I guess. And if you want to see my old Inktober drawings, you can find them there. And there are also some bonus ink drawings in my Harmony zine, I guess it's a zine, on my Gumroad, available for download for like $5, I guess. So yeah, that was it. I'm glad you are still sticking with me, and I guess I will see you during Inktober. Bye bye.